I think it's easy to answer this to say, yes, it's important and transparency and honesty should be present in every organisation. But the reality is it can be really hard to be honest and transparent as a working parent who's struggling. So I'm thinking back to some of the coaching experiences that we've had where individuals have told us that they're thinking of leaving the organisation because they're having such a struggle. And we've supported them through coaching conversations to try and sort of tidy up, sort of clarify their thinking, get straight in terms of what it is that the organisation can do to actually support and help them. Because often it's quite confusing for the employee in terms of trying to work out what exactly it is that they want. And it's hard for the manager as well, is to know how to actually help in those situations. So it's a complex topic, and it's not as easy as saying just be open and transparent. It takes some work, both for the individual and for the organisation, to put the necessary support and examples in place to encourage people to actually have those conversations.
And we know from our own experience, people that we've coached, managers, it requires vulnerability, it requires courage, it requires sharing things that perhaps you really wouldn't want to share, but having the courage to do so. And that's hard. But doing that means you don't feel forced into making a choice that you don't want to make. You know, the example that Helen was mentioning was somebody who thought they were going to have to leave an organisation, whereas actually by being able to have that conversation with the vulnerability and the courage that required, meant that they could then stay in that organisation, continue to work there. We also know this has to come from the top. We've said it before. We've answered the question on psychological safety. But if as a leader you can demonstrate vulnerability, to be more open about perhaps your experiences as a working parent, the difference that can make to the culture of your organisation, and parents feeling that it is okay and it is safe to speak up about what their experiences are, especially particularly challenging times when perhaps their children are struggling with their mental health.